Tourism Committee. Today is Monday, December 20th, 2021. Chairman Withers could not be with us today, so I will be filling in again in his absence. On with the roll call. As I mentioned, Chairman Withers is not here. Councilmember Bradford, don't see him. Councilmember Gamble, Councilmember Hager, Councilmember Hall, Councilmember Murphy, Councilmember O'Connell is here, Councilmember Parker, Vice Chair is present, Councilmember Sepulveda, Councilmember Van Rees, Councilmember Welsh. The Chair detects a quorum. We have a rather lengthy consent calendar, and I'm going to read off the numbers first and then ask if anyone has any thing they need bumped before reading the captions. Looking at item number 1, number 2, number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 is on consent to defer, 13, 14 on consent to defer, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Does anyone have anything they need bumped off of consent? I will read the captions and then ask a final time before we pass the calendar. So bear with me as I read this rather lengthy consent calendar. Resolutions, RS 2021-1284 by Allen and others. A resolution accepting a hazard mitigation grant from the State of Tennessee Department of Military, Tennessee Emergency Management Agency to the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Department of Water Sewage Services, and authorizing the acquisition and demolition of 7 houses located in various floodplains in Davidson County. RS 2021-1293. A resolution amending RS 2021-1222 to correct the estimated completion date for the construction of a complete street on SR1, US 41 Murfreesboro Road from I-24 ramp to Foothill Drive, federal project number STPMMH 1372, state project number 19L PM F3 152. Item number 5, BL 2021-1024, an ordinance declaring a certain planned road on the Orchard Bend Park property to be a public right-of-way and granting a temporary access easement. Item number 6, BL 2021-1025 by Van Rees and others, an ordinance to amend the Geographic Information System street and alley centerline layer for the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by renaming Woodruff Street between Gallatin Pike and the Peggy Street and Linda Lane intersection to David McMurray Way. Well, she can bump it at the end. Councilmember Van Rees.
Yeah, I wasn't going to interrupt you, but at the end, but I'll interrupt you now because I just did. Yeah. I'm going to need to defer this into the February 1st meeting. It was not heard yet by the transportation folks, and so there's also needed some time in the month of January to confer with some of my constituents on this matter. So I'm deferring to February 1st, please.
Okay, then we will say that is on consent to defer to February 1st. Moving on with the reading, thank you, council member. Moving on with the reading of the consent calendar, next item number 7, BL 2021-1026 by Sledge and others. An ordinance authorizing PDP Acquisitions LLC to install, construct, and maintain underground encroachments in the right-of-way located at alley number 806 at the intersection of Hagen Street. Item number 8, BL 2021-1027 by O'Connell and others, an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville, Davidson County to abandon existing water, sanitary sewer, and storm sewer mains, a sanitary sewer manhole, storm catch basins and easements, to relocate a fire hydrant assembly, to accept new water and storm sewer mains, storm catch basins, water quality unit, and easements for 5 properties located at 7th Avenue South, 8th Avenue South, and Fogg Street, also known as Paseo South Gulch, if I said that correctly. Item number 9, BL 2021-1028 by Nash and others. An ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to relocate a water pressure reducing valve, to construct a public water main, and to acquire temporary and permanent easements through negotiation, condemnation, and acceptance of property located at 5646 Emile Drive. Item number 10, BL 2021-1029 by Benedict and others. An ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to replace a sanitary sewer force main, to construct a new sanitary sewer force main, and to acquire temporary easements through negotiation, condemnation, and acceptance for the Clean Water Nashville OAP House Avenue Force Main Replacement Project for properties located along House Avenue, Rothwood Avenue, Giesen Drive, Idlewild Court, and Idlewild Place. Item number 12, BL 2021-853 by Van Reese, is on the consent to defer till February 1st. And that is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, by applying a historic landmark overlay district to property located at 435 Old Hickory Boulevard at the southeast corner of Donna Drive and Old Hickory Boulevard, zoned RS20, 1.44 acres, all of which is described herein. Item number 13, on consent, approved, 2021-887 by Parker. An ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2021-787, a proposed specific plan zoning district located at 1505, 1509, 1511, 1513, 1601, and 1603 Dickerson Pike, 1600, 1608, 1612, and 1616 Luton Street and Dickerson Pike unnumbered. Item number 14 is on consent to defer to February 1st. It is BL 2021-889 by Van Reese, an ordinance to authorize building materials restrictions requirements for BL 2021-853, a proposed historic landmark overlay district to include properties located at 435 Old Hickory Boulevard at the southeast corner of Donna Drive and Old Hickory Boulevard at 1.44 acres. Item number 15 by Toombs, BL 2021-929, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, by changing from R8 to SP zoning for properties located at 334 and 336 Ewing Drive, approximately 560 feet west of Richmond Hill Drive, 11.81 acres, to permit 180 multi-family residential units, all of which is described herein. Item number 16, BL 2021-930 by Toombs, An ordinance to authorize building materials, restrictions, and requirements for BL 2021-929, a proposed specific plan zoning district located at 334 and 336 Ewing Drive, approximately 560 feet west of Richmond Hill Drive, 11.81 acres. Item number 17, BL 2021-946 by Taylor, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, a request to rezone from R6 to CS to SP zoning for properties located at 1919, 1924, and 1928 9th Avenue North at the southeast and southwest corners of Clay Street and 9th Avenue North, 1.12 acres, to permit a mixed-use development, all of which is described herein. Item number 18, BL 2021-974 by Allen and others. An ordinance amending Title 17 in the Metropolitan Code of Laws regarding the design and operation of outdoor electrical lighting to clarify application of dark sky regulations by public utilities and on public property. Item number 19, BL 2021-975 by Sepulveda and Suara, an ordinance amending an ordinance amending section 17.406.660 of Metropolitan Code to amend the limitations of rebuilding a non-conforming structure. Item number 20, BL 2021-983 by Toombs, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws and zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from R10 to SP zoning for properties located at Lincoln Avenue unnumbered and Curtis Street unnumbered at the northwest terminus of Curtis Street, 31.58 acres, to permit 300 multifamily residential units, all of which is described herein. Item number 21, BL 2021-984 by Toombs, an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2021-983, a proposed specific zoning or specific plan zoning districts located at Lincoln Avenue unnumbered and Curtis Street unnumbered at the northwest terminus of Curtis Street, 31.58 acres. Item number 22, BL 2021-985 by Van Rees, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from SP to SP zoning for property located at Skyline Ridge Drive, unnumbered, approximately 415 feet east of Dickerson Pike, 24.97 acres, to permit 240 multifamily residential units, all of which is described herein. Item number 23, BL 2021-986 by Van Rees, an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2021-985, a proposed specific plan zoning district located at Skyline Ridge Drive, unnumbered, approximately 415 feet east of Dickerson Pike, 24.97 acres. Item number 24, BL 2021-987 by Sledge, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws and the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by amending the Southgate Station specific plan for various properties located north of Southgate Avenue and on either side of Marshall Hollow Drive, 1.97 acres, to prohibit not owner-occupied short-term rental and owner-occupied short-term rental uses, all of which is described herein. Item number 25, BL 2021-988 by Sledge, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws and zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing the 522 to 526 Southgate Avenue specific plan for various properties located north of Southgate Avenue and approximately 120 feet west of Marshall Hollow Drive, 0.97 acres, to prohibit not owner-occupied short-term rental and owner-occupied short-term rental uses. Item number 26, BL 2021-989 by Toombs, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS10 to SP zoning for properties located at 2304 A through F Lloyd Avenue, approximately 360 feet of Curtis Street, 1.02 acres, to permit 5 multifamily residential units, all of which is described herein. Item number 27, BL 2021-990 by Toombs, an ordinance to authorize building materials restrictions and requirements for BL 2021-989, a proposed specific plan zoning district located at 2304 A through F Lloyd Avenue, approximately 360 feet north of Curtis Street, 1.02 acres. Item number 28, BL 2021-991 by Van Rees, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from R10 to SP zoning for properties located at 401 A through E Williams Avenue, approximately 870 feet east of Walker Terrace, 2.46 acres, to permit 32 multifamily residential units, all of which is described herein. Item number 29, BL 2021-992 by Van Rees, an ordinance to authorize building materials restrictions and requirements for BL 2021-991, a proposed specific plan zoning district located at 401 A through E Williams Avenue, approximately 870 feet east of Walker Terrace, 2.46 acres. Item number 30, BL 2021-994 by Syracuse, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from OL to IWD zoning for property located at 2975 Elm Hill Pike, approximately 365 feet east of McQuarrie Creek Road, 1.13 acres. Item number 31, BL 2021-996 by Van Rees, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS10 to SP zoning for property located at 121 Hart Lane, approximately 200 feet west of Hart Court, 4.33 acres, to permit 26 multifamily residential units, all of which is described herein. Item number 32, BL 2021-997 by Van Rees, an ordinance to authorize building materials restrictions and requirements for BL 2021-996, a proposed specific plan zoning district located at 121 Hart Lane, approximately 200 feet west of Hart Court, 4.33 acres. Item number 33, BL 2021-998 by O'Connell, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from IWD to MUNA zoning for property located at 177 Little Green Street, approximately 140 feet west of Edgar Street, 0.14 acres, all of which is described herein. Item number 35, BL 2021-1003 by Gamble, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from R20 to SP zoning for property located at 1300 Hunters Lane, approximately 600 feet north of Dalemere Drive, 7.65 acres, to permit a 69-unit multifamily residential development, all of which is described herein. Item number 36, BL 2021-1004 by Gamble, an ordinance to authorize building materials restrictions requirements for BL 2021-1003, a proposed specific plan zoning district located at 1300 Hunters Lane, approximately 600 feet north of Delaware Drive, 7.65 acres. Item number 37 by Parker, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from IR to MLUANS zoning for properties located at 905 and 907 East Trinity Lane and 3013 and 3015 Ambrose Avenue at the northeast corner of East Trinity Lane and Ellington Parkway, 3.19 acres. Item number 38, BL 2021-1006 by Welsh, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS 7.5 and R8 to RM9-NS zoning for properties located at 3134, 3138, 3140, 3142, 3142B, 3144, and 3146 Glencliff Road, approximately 170 feet north of Twin Oaks Drive, 10.9 acres. Item number 39, BL 2021-1008 by O'Connell, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from IWD to MUNA zoning for property located at 199 Little Green Street, approximately 110 feet southwest of Hermitage Avenue, 0.15 acres. And lastly, item number 40, BL 2021-1009 by Syracuse, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from SP to IWD zoning for property located at 921 Perimeter Court at the current terminus of Perimeter Court, 3.42 acres, all of which is described herein. That is your consent calendar. Did I leave anything out? Nope. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Do we have or is there anything else, I should say, that needs to be bumped from the consent calendar? Seeing none, do we have a motion to pass the consent calendar? Motion is made, properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Consent calendar is approved. Okay. Number 3. Well, would I recognize Nancy or just pass it right to you? Okay. Okay. Moving on with our agenda, our first item is item number 3, BL 2021-1013 by Van Reese and others, an ordinance approving a lease agreement by and between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Education and Liberty Collegiate Academy. I'm going to recognize the clerk for an explanation.
So for this item, there's a proposed substitute. We've just gotten word that the official record actually has the change, this and then the next item. They're housekeeping substitutes to add an M to the proposal number. In the official record, the M is present, so the substitutes are not necessary. We're just going to have the clerk update what's online to reflect what's in the record.
Thank you. And Councilmember Van Reese, this is your bill. You're recognized.
Yes, I'd like to go ahead and move approval and ask for a second.
Motion is made and properly seconded to approve BL 2021-1013. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. That takes us to item number 4, BL 2021-1015 by Allen and others, an ordinance approving a lease agreement by and between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Education and Nashville Prep. For purpose of explanation, Councilmember Murphy.
Did we ever get, and I could have missed this in the email because our inboxes have been a little crazy lately. I didn't see an explanation of how much of the discount we are giving to these charter schools, how that played with the amount of money we are required to give them by the state. And I don't think we have, do we have anybody from Metro Schools here that can answer?
Maybe get the motion first and then discussion.
But that's right, I don't think it's properly before us yet either.
Yes, it is not. So we need, but for proper discussion, we need a motion and a second. So we have motion on the bill properly seconded. And Councilmember Murphy, were you through with your comment? I'm sorry.
No, they were questions on all of these lease agreements. I would like to hear how much money is the discount? How does it play with the amount of money we are required to support these schools? And really what could be done if we were not subsidizing the rent for charter schools in our public schools?
Thank you, Councilmember
And I'm
Murphy.
actually, I guess I will add to that, that I'm surprised, given the amount of conversation we had about this before. I'm kind of surprised there's no one from public schools here, from metro schools. Am I
As
wrong?
the- I'm not sure that there are. We do not. As the sponsor of the bill, Councilmember Allen, would you like to address those comments and
Yeah,
questions?
thank you for
Yes.
that opportunity. I did get a call from Metro Schools saying everyone who can answer this authoritatively is not able to be there, and we don't want to send somebody who doesn't have the authority to answer it correctly. But they had sent information that I believe should be from David Prophet that explains very specifically that they hired a third party to do the market analysis that comes up with this amount that they're paying, which is not exactly the question that you're asking, Councilmember Murphy. But it is an explanation of where the $5 per square foot, which then goes to $6 per square foot and then escalates at 3%, where those numbers come from, and that is derived in a very market standard way that is not arbitrary or capricious, which I was appreciative of being provided with that information. So that question is in our email, and it could well have been missed by you, and I'll try to get that printed out and at least have it on your desk for that. But anyway, they did apologize for not being able to be here and said if we need to defer, we can do that.
Councilmember Murphy, back to you.
I do think, given the discussion that we had was pretty robust last time and several questions asked, without knowing more about the amount of the discounted rate, I understand that it may be fair and how they came about it, but how does that play with the state formulations that we have to keep up, and how much of that money, if we were not discounting rent for these charter schools, what else that money could go towards and things for facility maintenance and whatnot. I do think it's inappropriate to pass these without having metro schools here to give some sort of explanation, given the robust discussion last time. And so I would like to move to defer this to, I assume the January meeting would be enough for MMPS to have someone here.
That is a proper motion to defer to the first meeting in January. Is that how I heard that? Okay. And do we have a second on that motion? We have a second. Motion is made and properly seconded. Any discussion on that motion for deferral? Seeing none, all those in favor of deferring BL 2021-1015 to the first meeting in January, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries to defer to the first meeting in January. Takes us to third reading, number 11. Is that right?
Yes, that's what I've got.
Okay. Next item on our agenda, this takes us to bills on third reading. Item number 11, BL 2021-621 by Murphy and others, and ordinance amending section 17.40.720 and 17.40.730 of the Metropolitan Code and zoning regulations to require additional public notice regarding applications for permits from the Historic Zoning Commission. Councilmember Murphy, you are recognized on your bill.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion for approval.
Motion is made and properly seconded for approval. Do you also have a
With that, I'd like to
substitute?
move the substitute.
You're moving the substitute. Motion is made to move the substitute and properly seconded. Any discussion on the substitute? Councilmember Allen.
I'm not on the committee, so if anybody on the committee wants to speak first, I'll wait my turn.
You're the only one
I'm the
other
only
than
one.
the
Okay, so we have
sponsor.
talked a little bit about this, and you know, this whole bill was driven out of neighbors being caught by surprise when projects went before the Historic Commission, because currently, if you're not watching the agenda and reading through the entire thing, something can come up and you don't realize that. So the need for signage is absolutely important, and I think I appreciate Councilmember Murphy working on language to define what rises to the level of needing notification and what doesn't. And I understand the need to get that spelled out, and I appreciate that. my one concern, which we talked about just a little bit, is changing it to something that we think is good and then changing it again as we sort of begin to find out what specifically fits in Nashville. I think this one's based on a really good set of language from another city. So I just want to make sure that we're comfortable with changing it now, knowing that we may well change it again if it comes back to us, as opposed to just getting the attention of the people we need input from and then making one change, as opposed to changing it to something, changing it back or whatever. So I just would love to hear other people's thoughts on that, that for those that have historic districts, I think it's really important that the people who have helped us go through the process to apply a historic overlay on their neighborhood continue to feel like this is working for them and not against them. So I don't want it to become burdensome if somebody's just doing something small and we've accidentally made it more difficult to do that. So I think I appreciate the specificity that's being asked for, and I want to make sure we get that right, and would hope that we can do it in a way that doesn't feel like churning. So,
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Murphy.
So my intention is to get this substitute on today and tomorrow night and defer it once again to try to get a little bit more feedback from Historic. I've sent this to them. I sent them also some follow-up questions from an opinion that I got from Metro Legal, and still waiting for a little bit more feedback from them. So my intention is to go ahead and put this on and then to defer another meeting and get some more research on it. This has been a long, drawn-out piece of legislation, and I'm really hoping Historic will step up and give some more feedback. If not, I think it's the appropriate time to move forward with a definition that has been around and used in another city. And so with that, I renew my motion for the substitute. And then I will defer the bill afterwards.
Is there any other comment or question in relation to this? We are on the deferral, or no, we're on the motion for the substitute. Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of the substitute say aye. Those opposed? No? Okay. Wasn't very resounding, but I'm assuming that is an aye. That puts us back on the bill as substituted. Councilmember Murphy.
Move for approval. Oh, I'm sorry, move to defer. Councilman, I'm sorry, it's Councilman Metropolitan and I's anniversary on Facebook today, and he's back here distracting me. And so while I would like to take this time to wish him a happy anniversary, I'd also request that he stop distracting me so I can defer my bill one meeting.
The motion is made for a deferral of one meeting, so that would be to the first meeting in January. Motion is made, properly seconded. All those in favor of the deferral say aye. Opposed? It is deferred. That is it. Is that it?
34.
34?
Yes. Item BL 2021-999. It's got a substitute.
Nope, I overlooked that one.
That's the last one I
Is that the last one? Okay, we were just double checking to make sure we didn't miss anything, and lo and behold, we did. Or I did. Item number 34, BL 2021-999 by Toombs, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, by changing from CS to OR 20 zoning for property located at 2006A-M 24th Avenue North, approximately 75 feet north of Clarksville Pike, 0.75 acres, all of which is described herein. Okay, Councilmember Toombs. Councilmember Toombs, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I do have a substitute that just adds NS to this bill to prevent short-term rentals. Someone from the
Okay, so
committee
you
could
want
move
a
it.
motion on your bill so that we can, okay, motion is
Yeah.
made on the bill and properly seconded, and so now we are on the substitute.
Yes.
Okay.
And
And,
like, again, it just adds the NS designation.
And so you're making a motion on the substitute, yeah, and properly seconded. And is there any discussion on the substitute? Seeing none, all those in favor of the substitute, say aye. Opposed, no. And the substitute is passed. Now we're back on the bill as substituted.
I'd like to move it as substituted.
Any discussion on the bill as substituted? Seeing none, all those in favor of BL 2021-999 as substituted, say aye. Opposed, no. And it is passed. Okay. Is that it? Just verifying?
That's all I've got.
That concludes our agenda for today. Is there any other business to come before the Planning and Zoning Committee? Seeing none, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.